So my name's Gareth. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at Manger, and today I'm joined by Reshma, who's built an absolutely incredible 5-figure a month high ticket business, which is just incredible. And I think that title is actually incorrect. It should be 10x, not 5x. But what we're going to do today, guys, is unpack everything down to the sales process, pricing, deliverables, time management, everything. And I'm going to get some good insights today. Feel free to ask any questions throughout, so just drop any questions in the chat, and there'll be some time at the end to ask some questions. So Reshma, tell us a bit about yourself, and what was the early version of your business when you first started with Manger?
Yeah, so I'm Reshma, and I am an online coach, and we started, I think end of 2020, possibly end of 2020, maybe start of 2021.
As COVID was happening.
Yes, deep in COVID, I was growing my online platform, but that was it really. Having a business, being a businesswoman was completely alien to me. I had a full 9-to-5 job as well in corporate, in HR. This was very much a side quest. And I remember when I joined, it was very low ticket. I think I was doing, £30-40 a month plans, which at the time worked really well with a 9-to-5 job. And actually, when I started, it did really well. It was a really good second income, and going from a 9-to-5 job, having one income, to suddenly making two, even though, it was a little compared to what we're kind of doing now, but it was amazing. It was great, but it was very kind of low ticket. It was just programs, but at that time it really worked because my Instagram was growing. Everybody was asking for a program, everyone was asking for a plan, and instead of me writing up PDFs like I did for a small percentage of that lockdown, this was great because I could give them something shiny, something new, something nice to look at.
Awesome. So you're saying that you started with obviously low ticket, and it's fair to say probably the business was at that plateau point. But what was that shift? What decided you to shift to more high ticket, or I should say direct selling? And that was your new primary strategy.
It was, and actually I think at the time I pivoted between the two. I think I had a chat with one of my success coaches at the time, and we decided to offer a little bit of a high ticket for a few clients. And I think at that time I was charging £155 a month for those high tickets, which is great. And I think I had about 2 to 3 clients at any one time on that high ticket, and the rest of them were low ticket. And I just decided, it'd be nice to work one-on-one, actually get to know some of these individuals. They'll pay me a little bit of a nice monthly amount. And again, having 2 or 3 high ticket clients paying per month while still doing that 9-to-5 job was something I could still kind of manage. But really and truly, things changed in, I think it was 2023 now, November 2023. Just before I went on a 2-week trip to Japan, I got in touch with a mentor, a business coach. And I think the world of sales and the world of online fitness coaching, all of this was kind of getting quite big. And I just sat down with my mentor at the time and decided to do things different, really. So instead of to be honest, my prices haven't changed in terms of £155 per month.
Yeah.
What's changed is kind of the method behind it in terms of charging, or I guess having a program where long term is so much more important rather than month on month, really committing to 6 and kind of 12-month programs instead.
Yeah, we'll touch on that. In terms of the impact, in terms of confidence and actual revenue, what impact did that have?
Gosh, massively. I think again at the time I'm going to be really, really honest, and I love hearing other people talk about money, and what they used to make and where they came from. So I think it got to a point. So when I was starting with low ticket, I was making around 1 to 2 thousand a month, which was a really nice amount. It paid my bills, it paid my rent at the time, which was great, and I still had a 9 to 5 job. But I think around, 2023, I plateaued a bit with kind of Instagram as well, and kind of leads, and everything I once was doing wasn't kind of working anymore. And I didn't think that would happen. And I was making probably anywhere from 300 to 500 pounds just with a couple of high ticket ladies. Um, and I really wanted to quit my job. I was not happy in my 9 to 5 job, but I just couldn't. I was doing some Instagram, obviously social media stuff at the time as well. So I was getting little trickles of income. But since I changed my whole kind of strategy, it's just, I mean, I quit my job properly. I went part-time in, I think, 2023. And then I quit my job in November, and now we bought a house. I'm 1 month into my new house near London, around London.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I never, people would tell me you won't be able to get a mortgage, be self-employed, like especially, new, less than 5 years into business. And that was not the case. So it's completely changed my life.
Incredible. Well, let's break it down then. So
Mhm.
this is right up my street. So lead generation, sales process, pricing. But let's talk
Yeah.
about the content strategy first. So where would you say most of your leads are coming from right now? How do you manage them? Are you getting them from DMs? Are you sort of managing the process there? Direct inquiries? Or is it a hybrid?
Yeah, I would say a little bit hybrid. So most of it is on Instagram. Instagram is my only kind of funnel, really, in terms of lead generation. A little bit on TikTok, but that's gone a little bit stale, I'll be honest. It's still there, and people still find me on TikTok, but come through my Instagram. And I still get kind of warm inbound leads, but it's really, I think, from my content, building that relationship and trust. And a lot of inbound leads come from following me for a good few years, watching in the background at my content, watching at everything I post. I really make it an everyday, daily thing to post client wins every
Yes.
single day on my stories, on my content. So they come in that way. Also, I have a link in my bio which sends people to a form which I created with you guys on our like CRM system.
Yes.
That works great because a lot of people just take initiative and just fill out an inquiry form, and it comes through me on our system, and I get back to them either WhatsApp on my WhatsApp business phone or Instagram as well. And that soon turns into calls, and then that goes from there. And also, I'm doing a lot more outbound reach as well. So although my Instagram leads are quite busy, my DMs are quite busy, I do, when there's quiet periods or I'm on it, I try and reach out to most of my new followers. I'm definitely can't keep up with them, but I do reach out to new followers. And I just asked them a simple question, thank you so much for following me. Where did you find me? Did you find me on the explore page? Or did someone show my page to you? So there's a lot of that. So I do message people a lot as well, which has really helped.
So that's a fundamental strategy. So anybody who's new coming onto your page you're straight in asking a question, and you're starting with value, I guess. You're not jumping straight to the services that you're offering. You just jump into, it's almost like just a meet and greet, I guess.
Yeah, literally. And to be honest, I don't even talk about, oh, what are your goals? Are you looking for a coach? Until a little bit later down the line. And sometimes I leave it. Sometimes if the conversation doesn't go, I just leave it with, well, I hope you really enjoy my page. And it continues to, bring you value. And eventually I've really found people do come back, and they just want they want to build that trust with you first. But they're a lead is a lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you in your stories, as
Mm.
part of your story strategy, are you pushing people directly to your DMs as well and then starting conversations, or is that straight to inquiry form as well?
I mainly push it through my DMs, to be honest. Sometimes I do an inquiry form, but most of the time it's my DMs. But a lot of people weirdly fill out my inquiry form, but DM me also
Yes.
twice, and it happens so many times. I'm having duplicate conversations sometimes. I'm like, oh wait, because I think people just want an answer now and they're proactive. And those people that have filled out my form, they've even come from, seeing an ad pop up that I run occasionally, and then they've filled out the form. But looking at where my clients have come from, a lot of them, most of them have come through, whether it was a lead or an ad later on, a lot of them have come through from filling out that form, really. So it really shows the good ones.
So let's touch on that. So you're saying you're running
Mm.
ads. I know you do everything in your business. So
Yeah.
do you do the ads as well? Are you using Facebook Manager, or are you just boosting posts?
No, I'm using Facebook Manager now, Ads Manager. It's still quite new to me. I used to boost posts. I've definitely done that. And I started doing that probably 2020, 2021. Didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't tracking any numbers. I was just throwing money behind things. But now I'm properly using Ads Manager and properly testing things. I recently did a ad and I tested three things. It says the exact same thing, just a different color. One word is different, and I'm properly tracking them on like a spreadsheet as well, really.
This is amazing. So basically, you're dangerous in all areas of your business. And I think that's such an important thing when you grow in your business. You need to understand, firstly, you're a content creator, you're a coach, you're a salesperson, you're closing deals, and obviously
Yeah,
you're dealing with the leads and your own qualification, but also
yeah.
ad management as well. So I think that's amazing to hear, because the more knowledge you have, the more you can actually scale up your business. That's amazing to hear. Let's break it down. Okay, this is like I said, music to my ears. This is so
Yeah.
full sales process from lead all the way to a closed deal. Let's break it down.
Mhm. Yes. So we get a lead wherever they come through. If they come through the form, there's a question on there that asks them, where would you like to be contacted, Instagram or WhatsApp? Whether it's Instagram or WhatsApp DMs, Instagram DMs or WhatsApp, I will send them a message. My first message is a copy and paste job. It's the same thing that I send to every lead. And it's just literally, thank you so much for filling out my form, or thank you so much for the DM. Do you mind me asking you a few questions to see how I can help you? So I really try and make sure the ball is always in my court. And a lot of them will even message me straight away and be like, how much do you charge? And I will never say it straight out. So usually I'm like, yeah, I've got a few different programs, but I'd love to get to know your goals. I can't help everybody. Do you mind asking you a few questions? Most people say, yeah, sure. I ask them a few questions. Honestly, it's very much Instagram have automated kind of messages, don't they? So you can literally write one word, you can write lead, and it will generate you the saved reply. So that works really well. I can just bang out my messages. A few messages mainly about their goals, if they've ever had a coach before, um, and a little bit about their job background. So I make it sound like, do you have an active job, a sedentary job? But really, we're trying to find out, do you have a job? Are you employed? Can you afford me?
Yeah.
Um, and then we get on a call, and I literally pitch it as, I'd love to jump on a really quick 10-minute call, nothing too crazy. I just love to get to know your goals a bit better. And most people can do a 10-minute call. So
And this is a
no,
phone call, Rashma, right?
yes, this is a phone call. So I call it a triage.
Yeah.
10-minute quick triage. Nobody's ever declined having a triage, to be honest. Quick 10-minute phone call. You get their number. We can immediately start conversating on WhatsApp, which is always better than Instagram. We take it off Instagram, and then we just jump on a call. And to be honest, I ask them the same questions as the DMs, and nobody minds. but it builds a rapport, it builds a relationship, it builds the trust. You find out if they're normal, I guess, as well, with the world of kind of online coaching. They get to know you're real as well. And then I do ask them a financial question. So I do ask them, are you, is this the time where you can truly invest into a coach and invest the time into a coach as well? The serious ones will be like, they'll be like, yeah, sure, would love to know more. Obviously, you get some pushback on people just asking for prices. But at that point, I don't take everybody from the 10-minute triage to the sales call. So I don't qualify everyone. When I was starting out, I took everybody into a sales call because I needed clients, but now I'm kind of at a place where better quality clients matter a bit more for me. And I don't want to jump on a longer sales call and waste my time. So if you're a good candidate after the 10 minutes, there and then on the phone, I book them into a proper sales call or strategy call, whatever you want to call it. Mine lasts around 45 minutes to an hour. And I've really changed the way I do sales calls. I started doing them on Zoom, and I changed from doing them on Zoom, and it was just a face-to-face on Zoom. That is it, just a chat. I soon changed and started doing phone calls, which actually built my confidence up a little bit more. Just selling on the phone, closing on the phone. And they were anywhere from half an hour to 45 minutes. And now, since January, I've gone back to doing Zoom calls. But what we do is we do half an hour, getting to know them, their goals, visions, all those kind of selling techniques. And then I also share my screen and I show them the program and I show them their journey and I kind of build their plan on the call. And I show them the last slide is on how much it is. So instead of mumbling it through a phone or something, I will show them exactly on the page. Sometimes I'll type it out. So that's what we do now. And I started doing that since January and it's worked really well.
That's amazing. I guess the triage call works so well because it's actually you as well. And I think we see a lot in the fitness industry where, coaches have setters. Now, it's not that that's wrong, but if you're actually doing that yourself and you're picking up the phone and they're seeing and you're just digesting all your content and then it's you on that call, then that's a real good reason, like you said, to build that trust from the start. Can I just ask on that, the triage call? So what signals are you looking for before moving them to the consultation call, the Zoom call? Like, is there anything specific you're looking out for in the qualification?
Yes, firstly, it is actually their goals as well. And to be honest, 99% of the time, I can help them with their goals. It's fairly simple. Building muscle, losing fat, losing weight. But if there's anything, an injury, or sometimes I get postpartum completely, not the right time to start straight away. If there's anything like that, even things like eating disorders or those kind of things, if I can feel those triggers coming up as well, I wouldn't feel comfortable. So I'm looking for that as well. And 99% of the time it's okay. But also I'm looking for their commitment level as well. If they are maybe, a lot of maybes, a lot of half-heartedly, a lot of, it could be the right time, it's not solid enough for me to kind of take them on a sales call. And financially as well, a lot of the times through that 10-minute call, you can find out if they are employed, unemployed, college student, a housewife, whatever it is. And sometimes I still do take them because I work with students. Yep. I do have students who have savings. I do work with women that maybe have rich partners, and their husbands support it. So I never completely disqualify them. And also sometimes when they're adamant about what's the price, I will give them a range of my price, the minimum and the kind of maximum per month. But instead of my high ticket, I'll just break it down in terms of like a monthly range. And you can tell if they're a bit like, oh, okay, umming and ahhing. And I will actually just tell them to, if you're not sure, go and think about it and get back to me. But I want to work with ladies that can invest financially and that are committed as well.
Love it. It's right, because when somebody asks price, it's, you don't even know what their needs and wants are yet. So, you know, it's like buying a car, isn't it? It's like, do you want all these like cool fancy things with it? I don't know what you want yet. And also you can say is, I don't even know if I can actually help you yet. So that's why I'm asking these questions, and that's kind of how you break it down. With the presentation, when you're taking them through that, are you giving them value as well? Obviously, you're going through the clarity stage, you're asking deeper questions. Is there some, do you take them on some value journey as well? You're giving them something, so if they don't sign up with you, that they still feel like they're getting something from that call?
Yeah, we kind of go through, yes, their goals and their journey, but we go through what's missing and what they exactly need. I think there's a fine line between coaching. You don't want to coach them on the call, but understanding what they need. And I will sometimes I will give them the value in terms of, you know, these are the missing pieces. We need to work on this, or you're not doing this. So I think you're, you know, there's a bit of lack of education there. So I give them a lot of value. And actually, a lot of ladies have even messaged me after saying, you know, I've loved talking to you. I could talk to you all day. Whether they've signed up or not signed up, they come away having like a good time, because I don't sit and hard sell. And to be honest, I could sell harder. And I've been to like events and sales, like workshops where everyone's like hard selling. And I'm not that kind of person, but I really build relationships, still keeping a bit of a boundary, but I do build relationships. I link it back. I build that rapport and relatability as well, really. And most of my ladies are South Asian, like I am. So I try and relate it back to things that I can, you know, I can relate it to, or 9 to 5. Most of my ladies are corporate ladies. I started in the corporate world. So relating it back to things, even like things about my culture and those kind of things, really helps them. And they suddenly think, oh, you're different. You're different to the other coaches. You're different to other people. You actually get me and you get what I want.
And that's why niching down works so well.
Yes.
That's a good example. Yeah.
100%.
So, I mean, it's brilliant hearing this. So I mean, did you ever do sales before this, or is this the first time?
Never, ever, ever. I have a human resources background.
Oh, wow. Quite the difference.
So, yeah, degree in HR, never, ever went into sales. I'd be the person that wouldn't even want to call up a restaurant to make a restaurant reservation. Like, I just had a fear of talking on the phone, let alone selling on the phone and talking about money on the phone. So it's been completely new for me.
Can you talk about your first ever pitch presentation that you did, and what did that feel like? And also, I guess a follow-up question to that as well is, what advice would you give to somebody who feels nervous about selling?
Yeah, I can't remember my first ever pitch, and I've changed it so many times. But I was definitely, I definitely didn't. There was a few problems in my sales pitch. I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe in my program. I didn't think it was a good program. I just thought it's like everyone else's, and that really showed. Like, it really came through on my sales calls. I also didn't value the price I was pitching it at. So when it would come to the price, in my head, I would get worked up. I would think, oh my God, here it is. Here's the price. They're going to say no. And I remember I'd just mutter it. Whether it's on the phone or Zoom, I would kind of spit it out. I'd mutter it. I'd fill all the empty gaps with just noise. And now what I do is I'm so calm, I'm so composed. After I give them the price, I actually just sit in a bit of silence, which is really awkward and uncomfortable. But
you get more comfortable the more you do it. And I think that's another fear as well, is that taking the money off somebody when you're first selling is actually scary. And a lot of people just don't ask the simple question, or don't present their pricing, and they never close deals.
No, exactly. And I really push on, we have this price or this price, what works best for you. I do split prices as well, but I do go in with kind of two prices. And it's scary. I think the first time I ever saw, which wasn't that long ago, the first time, it was probably, I don't know, it might have even been this year, January, or maybe back end of last year, but the first time I saw the 12-month upfront payment in full, I couldn't believe that they said yes with no objections, just yes, on the phone, gave me their money. And since then, it's happened many, many times. People just pay 12 months upfront in full. I'm kind of numb to it now, but the first time it happened, it was like the best feeling in the world.
Let's talk about that. So you're doing 6 monthly and 12 monthly programs, so a real long-term commitment. So they're going all in with this, and I believe your price. I mean, you've gradually increased your prices. So it's actually incredible where it is right now. I think it's. Am I right to say it's $1,200 for 6 months and 1,800, or have they gone up again?
Similar. So my 6 months is 1,399. So almost 1,400. And my 12 months is 1,899. And that's gone up, I think this month, really, June, and I just felt like increasing it. So, and really realistically, it's not that much in a whole, year. But that was something I wasn't doing before either. I was just not increasing my prices. And that's common, like, business financial advice, to be honest.
Is the reason for the price increase down to confidence and the value that you put on your service?
100%. It's the confidence. It's getting a lot more amazing feedback from my clients and reviews and testimonials without me ever asking. They just message me how amazing the program is. And I haven't changed the program too much, to be honest. I think it's just being the leader and them really believing in me because I believe in me. And I'm getting busier as well. I'm getting much more busier. I'm getting much more booked up. We're at 62 clients now. So
wow.
It just makes sense to increase.
Awesome. So, well, let's go into the deliverables then. So you're selling for long-term commitments. So what's actually included in your high ticket program? So just walk us through the sort of full client experience.
Yeah, so obviously we have the amazing plans, we have the programs, I always call it the tools that they have. So the nutrition plans, the workout plans on there. But alongside that, the whole part of kind of one-to-one coaching is I have a close relationship with all of my ladies. So we have our own chat. We do it on Telegram. And honestly, it's just because I work with a lot of ladies internationally, but I can schedule messages and things like that in, so I don't always have to be present, especially in the group chat. So me and my ladies, we have a one-to-one chat. It's just like WhatsApp, really. So they have this kind of close access to me, and it is just me. It's not a bot, it's not a chat, it's nobody else. We have a group chat as well. We have our whole community on Telegram. Again, I schedule 3 things throughout the week, things like share your wins and check-in forms, introducing new clients. We do that every Monday. So that's a really nice community, building that community, which took me many, many years to get to this stage. We do weekly webinars as well. So I actually had one after this, but we do weekly webinars where ladies can attend live like this, and we go through a particular topic. But I record them all the time, and I upload them on our app as well. So on the platform, I upload all my webinar recordings, so it's all in one place. What else do? We do check-in forms every single week as well. So every Friday on my busy days, I check in with the ladies that have filled out the check-in form. And we also do live workshops. So I run 2 in a year. I've only ever run 2, one last September and we did one in April.
In London?
Yes, in London.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I hire out a studio in North London. And the last one we did in April, we had about 13 ladies come. They all live around this that area. But we hired a proper kind of videographer. We made so much content from it. I hired like a yoga Pilates instructor to deliver a session. I did a little lifting workshop with goodie bags. And actually, I've had a few ladies that have joined, especially for the workshops. They've joined literally a week before we put the workshops on because they hear about it, they want to come. Literally the day of the workshop, I had a lady pay 6 months up front because she really wanted to be part of this community. So we do a lot, and it's busy. It's much more different than low ticket where I wasn't as present. But
yeah, the more you explain it, you are selling. A big part of that is the community side of it as well. Like if they are going to come and meet and greet each other, on live events, and if they're going to be in the Telegram group on a regular basis, there's a lot of community aspect to that as well. I guess the question is the more that's happening, especially with the check-ins, that's making you a lot busier as well. So what's your average week looking like? I'm assuming you're getting just a lot more busier because you're doing everything. Sales, you're doing the client management.
Yeah, and actually for a while I was doing this with a part-time job when I went part-time. And I thought, you know what, when I quit that job, I'm going to have so much more time. And I do, but what I end up doing is filling all my time with more stuff. But yeah, my average kind of week is very much wake up, get back to all my clients on any messages they've had overnight, get back to all my DMs, outstanding messages. I do make time for training as well, training myself on sales, better things, listening to podcasts. I block out time for that, blocking out time for the gym, changing client plans, doing webinars. Content is still a big part of it. I still to this day have very consistently for the last 6 years, I post every single day. I edit all my videos. I'm coming up with all the ideas. So it's very busy. And a lot of the times I start working at, probably 8 in the morning, nothing too crazy, 7:30, maybe 8, 8:30. But a lot of the times I am working until 7:30, 8, sometimes 9, because I take my sales calls from all ends of the globe. And a sale call is a sale call. So sometimes I'm taking them 7:30 in the morning or 9 in the evening if I can.
That's dedication. That's what you got to do if you're just running it yourself. What about if you feel like, obviously your retention is 6 months or 12 months because they're paying up front. If somebody who's paid all that money up front and you feel like maybe they're not showing up in the Telegram community or they're not showing up on the webinars, how do you try and re-engage that individual to make sure that they're reaching their goals?
Yeah, that happens a lot. And realistically, with 62 ladies in the community, not every single one of them is going to be engaged. And a part of me always felt bad. They've paid all this money and they've completely disappeared off the radar. But I do, so every Monday, it's part of Mondays are like my admin kind of days. I spend a good couple of hours in the morning going through all my clients, replying to their messages. I message every single one a Monday morning kind of message. And the ones I haven't heard from, I do just ping them a message. Everything okay? I haven't heard from you, a little bit worried. And I leave the ball in their court. There's not much else I can really do.
Yeah, as long as you're following up, that just shows intent.
Exactly. And I follow up every week. And then if I don't hear from them, I follow up every other week. And then eventually the ball is in their court. And I'm here. They know they're on a program. There isn't so much, I can't babysit clients. So there's only so much I can do. But I do chase up them to some extent, really.
Yeah. And I guess there's some clients that will have maybe different expectations and they've invested a lot of money. Can you talk about any sort of difficult client situations that you've had to deal with?
Yeah, I've had my fair share, and they do say, I think that there's a quote which is like, the more money you start making, the more problems that you start having. And I do believe part of that. And you have different problems as well. I've had clients where I've jumped on a call with them. They love the program. They pay up front. And the next day I get this horrifying message, which is like, I made a rash decision. I'm really sorry, but I want a refund. I don't think I can do this. And when it's happened with a 12-month, upfront payment. And it's the worst thing. And it's happened, I'd say probably about 3 times that's kind of happened. And actually, when they let me know within 24 hours, there's not much I can do.
Yeah. It's buyer's remorse they've had.
It is. And I get them on a call. I have retained clients. I have got them on a call. I have changed their program from 12 or 6, refunded them the difference. They've carried on the program. I still have a couple of ladies like that. I have had problems where people have paid, we've coached them, we've started, a month or so has gone in, and they've changed their mind and they want a refund. And I've changed in terms of a person. Before, that would scare me. I'd be very scared and I'd refund them straight away. But I've made my kind of refund policy, I'm always refining it, and I've made it really robust in terms of letting them know what it is at kind of every stage. And letting them know, once we start coaching, once I create your programs, we don't do refunds really, because it's a lot of my time. And of course, if you signed up today and tomorrow you change your mind, let's get on a call, but I can of course refund you. We haven't started the program. I haven't started doing the work. But that's happened actually. And it's been hard. Like, I've had legal disputes. Well, on Stripe, I've had, the Stripe disputes. I've paid for like a solicitor. These days you can get help from online, like instantly, and not paying too much, but I've helped to get advice, what to do in situations. And to be honest, every time these things come up, I always learn from it, and I change something in the program to make it a little bit more robust. And it's rare. It's very rare in comparison to the great clients that we have, but it happens. I coached a lady for. I
was just going to say, it's inevitable. It's just, as you're getting more sales in, you're going to have some people who change their mind. Just on that though, how do you, if somebody is 2 or 3 months in, how do you deal with that? Do you do things like dropping somebody if they've invested for 12 months to a 6 month, for example?
Yeah, definitely. We get them on a call. Instead of 12 months, we can do 6 months. We can change it slightly. I've done that before. I do pauses as well. So although I don't throw around pausing people's programs, but I do offer them, depending on what's going on, because sometimes it's not, I don't like the program, it's something's happened personal, or it's a really busy period, I realize it's not the time. We give them a break, we pause them for a month, we then pick up and see what we need to do. I've even paused ladies for 2-3 months and then they've come back. But I am a bit strict on it. If I've done the work and I've coached you and we've had multiple calls to get you started, then I don't know. And this is just my way of running the business, but I just feel like it is what it is. It says we do a no refund policy once we start coaching, and and they can dispute it with their bank, which they do, and then it comes through as a Stripe dispute. But yeah, it's annoying. I had a lady that I coached for, I think, 2 months, and her second payment was due, and she's like, "Oh, I just don't want to pay it. I've decided I don't want to do it anymore." And she was a great client. So people change. You think they're amazing. You built this amazing report, but people will surprise you. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, 100%. And it is inevitable as you get more clients on board. But as it happens as well, sales cures everything. So if you've got a good sales engine, there's leads coming in, you're following your strategy well, then maybe that refund or that dispute you've lost, it's just going to be just small compared to the rest of the sales coming in. But we always say here that when you're taking somebody through the customer value journey, once they've bought, you want to take them to that excitement stage. And the more that we can deliver on value at that stage, the more that we can actually just go above and beyond, do things that they didn't even expect that was actually in the deliverables. Then they're like, wow, this is just incredible. This is something that it makes them almost feel special. So they never think about to actually leaving as well. But I think it is inevitable especially with buyer's remorse and after they've initially bought. I guess we've got a couple of questions left. So it is incredible how you've single-handedly just grown this business into what it is today, deep into the 5 figures a month. It's just incredible. What's your ultimate goal for the business in the next 12 months? And I guess, what does success look like for you?
Yeah, so a lot of the things I'm thinking about, obviously it's financially, right? Where the whole point of business is you always want to be growing in terms of clients and financially. So of course, one of my goals that I popped on my vision board for this year was reaching 100 clients, ideally at the end of this year. But that's a massive goal. And financially, I would love, and I put this on my vision board as well, I'd love to start hitting a 20k month. And it's scary, and when I say that out loud, it seems scary, it doesn't seem real, it seems very far away, but that's the kind of things I think you need to put on your vision board, because I would never think I'd be in this position to be doing 10k months. So that's kind of financially, but I'm also thinking a little bit more in terms of, I'm at the age where I'm almost 30 at the end of this year, and I'm thinking about, I've got a mortgage now, starting a family, getting married, all those kind of things. And at the minute, my business is my baby. All my time is in my business. That's all I want to do. But obviously, when I have children or myself, I don't want to be doing everything, and I can't be doing everything. So I'm very much thinking about scaling out, getting a bit more help, automating a few things, but I still want to build a business. I still want that kind of personal level that I bring to my clients. But I think it's about bringing possibly other people in, virtual assistant, other coaches, possibly even things like an editor, really just taking a lot more things off my plate.
Have you thought about incorporating more AI into the business?
Yeah, and I do use it for certain things, maybe the odd question or webinar ideas for the month, those kind of things. But fully, in terms of completely doing things for me, apart from, running an ad where people can just click on a word and they come into my DMs, that's as far as I've really gone with kind of automating things in AI.
What would you say one task that within your business right now that you're still doing that you'd love to hand off? What would that be?
You know what? It would be, I think, the DMs, because most of the DMs, until I get on that 10-minute call, is, I don't want to say it's based off of a script, but it kind of is. It's the same questions. It's the same kind of thing, asking about their job, their goals, and chasing up leads as well. I do not have the time to chase up people, and there's people sitting in my DMs that want to book in a call, but they've just forgotten and they haven't messaged me back. And a few ladies last month I went back to, I did a big job. It took me a couple of hours just to go back to everybody that ghosted me or disappeared. And I had a few ladies sign up onto my program from that. So I'm leaving a lot on the table at the minute in terms of leads, chasing up leads, starting new conversations with new followers, things like that as well.
Yeah, I guess you have to really organize your day as you're just doing everything yourself at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And at the minute, like, unless I'm in my DMs 3 times a day, including the weekends, a Friday will come, I'll have the weekend off, Monday will come, and there's so many DMs that I've just missed, and it sets me back. So that's really the thing right now.
It's just we see it with creators here at Macroactive that even creators that are doing low ticket, they're still in their DMs themselves, hustling conversations. And we see a big part of the success there is just striking conversations. And I guess that side of it is just because you love it. You just can't get away from that side of it, because you want to help people at the end of the day, and they're asking you questions and you just can't get away from it. And we do see that with other creators, that it's just a big part of their success. All right. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, yeah, definitely. And I mean, my favorite thing is I really like doing the calls now as well. I like taking the triages. It's 10 minutes. I could be washing the dishes, like walking in the garden, doing an errand while I'm just having a chat with a friend,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
how it feels. And I really like doing the sales calls now as well, actually. They get me quite excited. I love chatting. It's a prospect at the end of it. It might be a new client. So that part of it, I don't know if I'd want to hand off to like a closer or a
100%.
setter just yet. But the messaging and the DMs, I love doing it. It's just the volume of it a lot of the times.
Yeah, 100%. When you've got that sales bug, it just won't stop. I
Mm.
think when you first start doing sales, you think, oh my God, I'll never be able to do this.
Yeah,
Every single pitch that you have, you just get more experienced and you just start loving it. And
100%.
especially when you're just generating the revenue that you're doing. So, no, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So, with regards to your platform, I
Mm.
know what was important to you was that your customers sort of felt your brand and your presence inside your platform. So how would you say, having your own branded platform has really elevated your client's experience?
Yeah, I think firstly, I think it's one of those things that they're not expecting. And I think they jump on these calls thinking they'll have, like a trainer rise or something, they'll have something like that, like another kind of like app that isn't kind of branded, or they'll have like a PDF document or something, or like a little Word document. Until obviously on our Zoom pitches, I do show them some of the pictures of what it looks like, a little like iPhone prototype thing. And a lot of people have even commented and sent me messages like, "I love the app. It looks so like it's so user friendly. It looks so good. It does so many things on it." And I decided next month one of my webinar topics is going to be the app. Really, it's going to be navigating the
Mm,
app.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, because a lot of my ladies ask questions on the app really, and they're like, "Oh, there's so much on it. Can I do this on it? Can I do this on it?" And the answer is, yeah, you really can. And I think sometimes I'll be doing this for so long, you forget how much is on there, and it's only getting better. There's better things on there as well. And they really love it. And yeah, and there's stuff that we can add as well. I emailed the team the other month and we added all of our webinar recordings on there. That was a little project I was working on. So yeah, it's different as well. It's something different. It's branded to me. It doesn't look like everybody else's, and it's pretty like customizable as well.
Yeah, yeah. Are there any particular features that save you loads of time and adds serious value to the program?
Yes. Yes, and I think I take this one a little bit for granted because I've been, with you guys for a while now, but knowing a lot of people in the industry, I've got a few friends that I've met through like my business coach and stuff who are coaches but use like the other apps that they're out there. They're very manual, and actually I don't really have to do anything. They sign up. When somebody signs up, they register. It's all nice. It's seemingly. I worry about getting them on an onboarding call, the kind of soft skills, all the technology stuff of creating their program is done. And it means I can sign somebody up on a Friday, have my weekend off, or go out or whatever I do on the weekend. And then Monday comes around, they have their plans to them. And we sometimes make changes. We jump on an onboarding call and make manual changes throughout. But a lot of people I know in the industry, a lot of other coaches, very much, have to spend so many hours manually going through. I also do a lot of things like free challenges where we get a larger volume of ladies.
Mm.
It's kind of like a free trial, but they have anywhere from a week to 2 week. I tested free challenges, and a lot of people I know who do free challenges complain about the volume of them being free and having to still do their plans, whereas I don't have that problem. I can give them a taste. All I can worry about is this, doing webinars with them really, and really building that relationship. So it does cut out a lot of work, and I just focus on answering their questions, building that relationship again, that rapport. So it's really great.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And I know you're very focused and organized in your business right now. Is there scope for low ticket as well over the next 12 months?
Yeah, so I kind of do have a low ticket. It depends what you think low ticket is. But I do have a group coaching program, and it's literally just it just removes the one-to-one part of it. It removes me talking to them really. They
Love
just
it.
have access to the app, and it's £99 per month. So we're not doing £30 or £40.
Amazing.
It's 99. I've got about 6-7 ladies on that one. But they still get access to the webinars, the group coaching. They can come to the live event. They might ask me like one question in a blue moon. And also it's really good if your high ticket ladies are leaving after 6 months or 12 months. I have dropped them down to low ticket, which works really well as well, actually.
And I'm assuming that's a great downsell strategy for you as well. So if somebody can't afford the long-term investment, you just drop them into that. And is that £99 a month, or are they paying like 3 or 6 months in advance as well?
So I've tested out a few things. I did used to do £299 for 3 months, but I'm just doing £99 per month now. But I do a minimum of 6 months. So I always say I don't work with anybody under 6 months. You're not going to see results in the odd month or 2 months. So it is a minimum of 6 months, but it's £99 per month, and that works quite well.
I bet your conversion rate is excellent on the back end of that, because you're giving them options to buy. I mean, if it's just affordability is the objection, then at least you can drop them into that.
Yeah, definitely. And I had a lady yesterday who I didn't pitch her that program. I don't talk about that program at all.
No.
But when we discussed financially, she opened up. It was a little bit expensive. She was like, "Are these the only programs you do? Do you do anything lower?" And at that point, I was like, "Actually, I do something lower. I do a group coaching program." We went through it a little bit, and she signed up there and then. So that one works quite well.
Awesome. Reshma, thank you so much. We're coming to the end of the webinar now. We've got a couple of minutes left. But yeah, thank you so much. That was packed full of so much insight. And yeah, let's open up. If anybody's got any questions for Reshma around anything, pricing, deliverables, scaling, anything that we've touched on today, feel free to drop them in the chat, or just raise your hand. Did such a good job, Reshma. Answered everybody's questions.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
All right. Oh, Eric, go for it.
Hang on. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Reshma, thank you. I am curious how you manage your DMs, because you said that that's a big part of your sales process. Like, I saw you have 80,000 people that follow you, and that can be overwhelming. I really struggle with I've given up on Facebook because I have too many followers there to keep up. And on Instagram, I'm getting hundreds of messages a day that would be all day to respond to people. So how do you manage that? And thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Honestly, as organized as I am, I don't have a robust strategy apart from going in 3 times a day, really. And I spend about an hour, half an hour just going through and replying to everyone. But what's really changed is I don't know if you do this, but on Instagram, save replies. So most people ask the same things, and most people ask and inquire about coaching, or they send me a one-word CTA because I post that on my story a lot or on my content. So a lot of the DMs come from that. And it takes probably 2 seconds to just write one word. It pops up the same reply. I send it. Sometimes I'm going very fast and I've messed it up and I send them the wrong word, and that happens, and I just make a joke out of it. But a lot of the times I've realized in the morning, first thing I do when I wake up, DMs, middle of the day, in bed. It is a lot, but until I get kind of a virtual assistant, someone that can do it for me, I'm just going into the DMs doing that. And when I have a little bit of time, I will go through and try and message any new followers that will come, or message anybody that maybe hasn't replied to me for a while. I'll only really go through as back as probably a week or 2 weeks. The problem with me is I am leaving a lot on the table. I could easily scroll to the back end of last year and see messages that, have not replied to me or forgotten, and there's still so many leads there. So we're just coping, I think. But yeah, there's no magical strategy, but it's the first thing I do. Even when I'm on holiday, really, even if I'm not working, I will still make sure I'm in my DMs. It just helps, really, especially with like booking calls.
Okay, thank you.
It's okay.
Thanks, Eric. Any other questions? All right, I think we leave it there, Reshma. Thank you so much again for today, and congratulations on building an absolutely incredible business. And just looking forward to seeing what the next 12 months has in store for you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Sounds great. Thank you so much for having me.
Have a good day. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.